Can Grill here at the corner of Lee and Nicholson. Welcome to the Wednesday edition. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handgriff along with Max Gotro. Jordan Kitchen's back in the studio. Jimmy Ott will be with us. He was at the Ole Miss Alabama game last night. Professional sports handicapper Randy McKay gets you ready for divisional weekend. Scott Rabelais was at LSU basketball last night. He's been at LSU women's basketball. He likes golf. Like Max, we'll talk to Scott. Wes Reynolds, who gave us a bomb.
Yeah, we all like golf.
The golf. Tell me, Max, what you cashed on? Well, you like to pick too, but with Wes's pick on Sunday came in at a cool
110 to 1.
Yeah.
I think we had Wes Reynolds came out at 115, so right in that range, and a nice long shot to start the year. That boosts the bankroll for the PGA Tour season.
When he gave the pick out, and Wes gives us, a handful of golfers every week. So, these are the guys I like that are favorites. These are the guys I like that are long shots. When he gave out that long shot last week, your face lit up like a little kid on Christmas morning. I'm like, Max, you like that pick? I do like that pick. And then on Sunday at the Beau Rivage sweating that playoff, you really like that pick.
I liked it until he missed two 4-foot birdie putts back to back on 15 and 16. I thought it was all over, but what do you know? He chips in for eagle on the 72nd hole, wins in a 2-man playoff, and obviously when you cash, you feel great at that point.
Yeah. Give me the guy's name.
Nick Taylor.
Nick Taylor. Yeah, Taylor. I remember Taylor. I forgot his first name.
Yeah, the Canadian. He's now a 5-time PGA Tour winner, so he's shown in the big moments he's up for the task.
So Wes will be back with he's going to give us some golf picks again today too, but he got to be shaking off that loss with Indiana last night. Wes a big Indiana fan. It's the first time I think I've ever seen the Hoosiers booed out of Assembly Hall. They're not real happy with their coach Mike Woodson right now, but we'll get to that with Wes.
You want to talk about coaches, Charlie? You didn't really get to this because yesterday's first, second, no class was kind of a different sort of circumstance where it was basically a rant on Mickey Loomis, and I was all there for it. You cooked in that segment. Charlie.
Cooked, yes.
But you didn't really give a second class, and I would say there's a second class nominee right now, and that's Kentucky basketball and their fan base, because they have gone from John Calipari, who we saw in the PMAC last night, Arkansas, they can't be happy with the early returns there, and they've got Mark Pope, and Kentucky's been top 10.
I hate this word when it comes to coaches because I think it sells people and programs short. And when I say people, I mean the coaches themselves, the fan base. I hate the word fit. Okay, to me, you're a good coach, you'll fit fine, and if you're a bad coach, you won't fit. Okay, this guy can't coach here, this guy can't. I hate the word fit because good coaches make it work. And you don't have to be from a certain part of the country. You don't have to be a certain age. You don't have to be alumni or anything like that. But he really fits. He really fits there. Kentucky was my favorite play yesterday. Got one again tonight in the Southeastern Conference. But I want to talk about LSU, man. You at the PMAC last night. We liked LSU's chances last night. So we looked at the schedule and said, listen, don't lose this one, because in the first 4 games you had a couple opportunities for wins, and now Missouri looks better than we thought at the beginning of the season with that win at Florida last night. That raised a lot of eyebrows for sure. But LSU's schedule in the first 4 games compared to the next 4 games, or the next 8 games, was like, okay, you get 1 or 2 here because it's going to get a lot harder. And they did. If they lost last night, look, man, it just gets a little bit harder for them. But they got off the first 6 minutes, I would say, were ugly basketball on both sides offensively. Neither team could really buy a bucket in the early going, but LSU did get it going later in the first half. It was a game of runs. You had multiple 11 and 12-point runs really for both teams. The Tigers were able to turn Arkansas over enough to get some points out of that. They were able to keep their points off of turnovers down for Arkansas. What did we say about Cam Carter yesterday? Listen, there'll be a game where Cam, who averages about 16 points a game, where he'll have 25 or 26, and well, he went for 27 last night. They got some minutes out of Mike Williams, who's sort of been MIA for a while, and with Victorious Miller out of the game last night, Williams gave him 17 good minutes off the bench. But the difference in the game, Max, and you were there, and I want your take on this. LSU kept going to the basket, they kept getting fouled, and they kept making free throws. I can't tell you that I expect them to make 93% of their free throws, but one of the stats, John Brady loves this stat, and I kind of taken to it since he's been the coach here. If you can make more free throws than your opponent shoots, then you're doing really well. LSU made twice as many free throws as Arkansas shot last night, so LSU was able to do a nice job with rim protection. Damian Collins was a real presence down there. LSU went to the foul line. They made their free throws last night, and they get away. It wasn't easy. Arkansas was within 2 with under 30 seconds to go, but they made their free throws and they got home last night.
And Arkansas led for a majority of the game, not the whole game, but certainly a good bit of the first 3 quarters of the game. Yeah, look, I think the offense, it struggles to generate much down low, and they didn't do that again. But at least you had Collins with 4 blocks, 10 rebounds. Corey Chess is always going to give you a whole lot of effort on the boards. He had 3 blocks as well. So you got some defensive effort from those guys. But yeah, Carter stepped up. Kind of a quiet 27 because 10 of those were from the free throw line. But you have a free throw disparity of 15 free throws. 26 to 11 made free throws in this game. That was the difference. And when you can't always generate the best looks offensively, just get to the rack and try to get to the free throw line. They did that very successfully, and they converted when they got there. That was huge. Mike Williams, I've been begging to see more of him lately, to be honest, for a team that struggles to get the best offensive looks, to get a shooter out there, and that really affected their spacing. Played a short stint in the first half, but definitely expanded his role in the second half. I think we're going to see more of him going forward, even if Victorious Miller comes back, because of that threat of the 3 ball, which he made a corner 3 at one point down the stretch at the end. You saw a little bit of why they're nervous to put him out there too much at the very end, where ball handling was an issue. He turned it over down the stretch on a travel, and so you kind of worried about seeing the game out at that point. But you got what you wanted. I mean, you got better looks in the second half. That was a huge boost for them. They pushed the pace a little bit. The crowd was pretty sparse for a late game, as you would expect for a team who's 0-3 in conference play. But you got a little bit of boost from them when you start pushing the pace and scoring a little bit. So a really good win for LSU, a much-needed win against an Arkansas team that, we said it yesterday. I mean, they're just not where they should be, considering who they brought in. It's a new team, but John L. Davis, a big prospect from Florida Atlantic. He brought some guys from Kentucky, Jonas Adu from Tennessee. So they've got names on that roster, but it just has not worked for this team.
The sum doesn't look like it's more than the parts. The parts look like they should. The parts are greater than the sum, I guess. They have more talent there. Calipari doesn't seem to have a real good handle on this team early. I mean, they're not awful, but they're 0-4 in the conference because this is a really good conference. But they do seem to have more talent than that. I suspect that they'll figure it out. Calipari's too good of a coach to not figure this out at some point. I suspect that they will get better. I thought that Cam Carter, you say he's a quiet 27, if such a thing is possible. I thought one of his most important baskets was at the end of the first half, making that 3 to cut the deficit to 2, going to the locker room. This doesn't always work where you say, oh, what a spark going in the second half. But it did work here because LSU came out on a 9-3 run to start the second half, and I really thought they settled in. I thought it relaxed them a little bit. Even so, when Arkansas counterpunched and took the lead back, they weren't, instead of being back a dozen, they were back 5 when Arkansas went on their run. And the other reason I thought it was important was because all the momentum in the last 2 minutes of the first half had been shifted. Boogie Flan went on a little heater, little heat check for about 2.5 minutes where he made 4 shots in a row, and the momentum was clearly shifting Arkansas. I thought Carter's bucket at the end of the first half was very, very big. Now look, this doesn't change the fact that LSU's 1-3 in the conference. It doesn't change the fact that the schedule upcoming is brutal. It doesn't change the fact that they're in the toughest conference in the country. It's just a little. I don't want to make out like, and now they're ready, and here we go. No. This is just a nice relief. When you're asking kids to give max effort and buy into what you're trying to do, and they just keep losing and losing and losing, at some point you run the risk of losing the team. So give them a win. I won't say take pity on them, but come on, a little something for the effort here, please.
Yeah, you got 2 straight road games, against top high quality, top half SEC opponents, A&M and Alabama, and then you come back home against Auburn, number 1 Auburn. You don't want the Auburn home game experience to be pretty dead. I mean, the Deaf Dome has been more of the dead dome lately. You don't want to lose that going into a big Auburn game, and that you run a risk of that. If you lose another home game again, you start maybe 0-6. Maybe you don't even show up for the number 1 team in the nation. But you mentioned Cam Carter, big shots. I'll mention the moment in the second half where they kind of expanded their lead, their highest lead of the game. I think they got to 9 points. He made a couple free throws. Sears gets a steal. Cam Carter makes some dribble moves, really shake and bake, and you got to shoot at that point. You create your own space. You got to shoot. He puts
triple
up a 3,
pump,
and that immediate timeout for Arkansas. You take a 9-point lead with 6 minutes to go. That was not the quiet moment that I mentioned with Cam Carter. That was an exciting moment for him. So not the quietest points of the night, but Carter is sort of the energy boost. But you didn't turn the ball over quite as much. That wasn't as big of an issue. They cleaned it up just a little bit. But I still think, to be honest, I've heard Hunt Palmer talk about this previously. He would rather them slow down and get, not as good looks, but at least they won't turn the ball over. I sort of disagree with that. I think this team should push the pace a little bit because they just don't get all the great looks in the half court. So you might as well just try to get as good a looks as you are, because you're probably going to turn the ball over 15 times a game anyway.
Hunt's just trying to cover the spread. He's just trying to keep the game under. By the way, that shot with and I'm joking with Hunt, of course. The shot that Cam Carter that you're talking about, that triple pump shake, I did not expect that ball to go in.
Oh, you got to shoot
I did not think that shot. No, I get it. You got to shoot. I didn't think that shot was going in, but it did. We're here at Los Reyes Mexican Grill, corner of Lee and Nicholson, cross street from Mike Anderson's. Come on by and see us here for lunch. They do fantastic margaritas here. Jimmy, you've heard him talk a bunch of times about just sliding through here on the way home, pick up a margarita to go home, or you come in here for lunch. Great lunch menu. I love the Mexican pizza here today. It's a double fried tortilla, which essentially means it's a double-decker pizza. It's one of my favorite things to get here. Get a fork. I'm just telling you, okay? Because it can get a little bit messy, but it is fantastic. Burritos, enchiladas, quesadillas here for your lunch menu. Terrific place to watch ball games as well. They put a lot of work into the bar area and refurbishing the restaurant. You got multiple TVs. They do a great job of keeping all the games on that you're interested in, and a wonderful patio area. Probably, in the summertime, we're going to get out there a little bit more when they break the windows up. But right now you can get indoor dining on that patio with the doors closed, so you get a climate controlled lunch experience. Here at Los Reyes Mexican Grill, we will take a break, come back, head over to Tuscaloosa. Maybe the best win of the college basketball season. Ole Miss winning in Tuscaloosa last night as far as rating points. It's up there.
There was another road top 5 matchup last night. I think that might have been a little better. But
okay, we can do
two big ones.
Missouri's win versus Ole Miss's win. Okay. Hey, we run a talk show here. We can talk about that kind of stuff. Live at lunch from Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Thibodeau store and the Pierreport store, sister properties. Pierreport store recently, just last fall, celebrating their 113-year anniversary. At the Thibodeau store, all of the services that you get, some of the things that you might not be thinking about, like propane services or key cutting, screen and glass repair, paint matching, all of those things done Huge grill sale going on right now. Big green egg cookers for the ultimate in your outdoor cooking experiences. You're looking to make some home improvements in, say in your bathroom. Okay, some of these, can I really do that? Can I replace? Yes, a huge selection of faucets that you can select from, and they'll work you through how some of these things you can do yourself and save a lot of money. Power tools from Milwaukee, nothing but heavy duty power drills, power saws, and of course at the Thibodeau store, a lot of fishing gear if you're going down to the coast. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodeau, and online it's thibodeaustore.com.
It's a new year. Aren't you ready to finally get the IRS off your back? Hi, I'm attorney Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. We've helped so many people figure out their IRS issues, and they always tell us they wish they'd called us sooner. Friends, the IRS isn't going away. Matter of fact, they're ramping up their efforts. So now's the time to call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get between you and the IRS and make your life better. If you have wage levies, bank levies, tax liens, or unpaid taxes, call the Bryson Law Firm and let us get out in front of the IRS and devise your best resolution plan. IRS problems are legal problems. So call the Bryson Law Firm. We're local. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. Results may vary. LSBA filing number LA2316155.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Jake and T-Bob here, and when it comes to roof replacements and repairs, there's a #1 top-rated roofer you need to know, Pelican Roofing.
Pelican Roofing has literally hundreds of 5-star reviews and was the recipient of the 2019 Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. Hey, we know there are a lot of roofing companies, but there's only one Pelican Roofing.
And Baton Rouge and Lafayette and all the surrounding areas, they even offer 0% financing for those who qualify. Call for your free estimate at 225-228-2865 or visit PelicanRoof.com.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 1045 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Los Reyes, where happy hour runs from 2:30 to 6:30 daily. Margaritas, draft beer, house wine, all on your happy hour specials. 2:30 to 6:30 here at Los Reyes. Jimmy Ott joins us now from Tuscaloosa. Jimmy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Charlie. How about you, buddy?
Doing great. Listen, I was just wondering, before you went to the game last night, did you go to the bookstore and get your crimson shirt? To be sitting in Coleman last night. Alabama dad. That kind of thing.
No.
I thought I might have seen you in the background on one of those shots.
Hey, don't sweat any of that BS. Okay, don't make me curse on the air. But the thing is, next time I do go to Coleman Coliseum, if there is a next time, I'll bring my asbestos mask. I mean, on a campus where even the parking garages are pristine with brick, stone, flumed columns. Man, you go inside and outside, it's fun. Now, they do have plans for a new arena, but it is, look at the ceiling. I'm like, Is this the same thing I saw in that asbestos commercial? What is going on here? It is not even close to LSU. Now, they have plans for a new arena. Why I bring this up is because Nate Oates is doing it. This is one of your resources, and he is getting it done. Spall picture last night, he got his pants coached off. Beard is good. I said yesterday, give me a roster, give you a roster. Who would you take as a bench coach? More than Beard. And what does Alabama want to do? What do they want to do?
They want to run, man.
Down.
Yeah, get moving.
They want to shoot threes or whatever. They were over a 1/3 turnover rate deep into the game. They're at 34% at one point deep in the game. A turnover every third possession. They never pressed. They never tried to push it. And they tried to push it on some misses and turnovers, but would they finish with 22, 23 turnovers in the half-court defense? Beard is going to that's just a mismatch. You don't want to get in that tempo and at home. And I thought it was just a big mistake by Oates. And, kind of his crowd never got into it. No, some of the really sound defense, Ole Miss just way stronger. Beard is way stronger with his half-court sets and his half-court defense. And they proved it. One of Ethan's roommates, his older brother, is a graduate assistant at Belmont. And the big boy, Malik Dia, is from Belmont. And, man, he's a below-the-rim player, but this is his third game in a row, man, where he's lit it up. He was the leading scorer at Arkansas in that win. He went out and knocked down about 3 or 4 threes. Last night, it's soft hands, really soft hands, big body. He needs to get in better shape if he wants to translate to the next level. But his shot, he doesn't even leave the ground. He's not leaving. It is a old school set shot, but he's a load and he's a handful to deal with. And he was even more effective and impactful in the game in their half court sets, and getting, some of that high, low post slip screens that they were doing and just giving him some easy bucket opportunities last night. So, first time ever, Ole Miss wins on the race. It's just in this is a tough league, man. But Charlie, you said something about Calipari earlier. He, I think he is one of the weakest bench coaches in the country right now, and it was tragic. But his longtime bench coach, John Robick, who's still with the University of Kentucky, but he lost a daughter to liver cancer. And at like 27 years old, and he just had to get away from coaching, but he misses him dearly. Charlie, this is a guy that went to Knoxville and didn't have a shoot around and admitted to it after it. And when they shot like 20% from the floor, he has done some things. He has a top 3 NIL or player budget. And they're 0-4 now in the league. And you just watch them play. They're not a smart, they're not a well-coached team. So
no, that's what I said. The sum doesn't. There's more parts there than what they're getting out of the sum of those parts. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit just for the long range of success that he's had, because no, they did not look like a very well coached basketball team last night.
Even long-term success also is based on. Could you also look at it and say he's big time underachiever with some of the guys and how talented they are? They are young, I know that, but I don't know.
That's certainly what they said at Kentucky. That's certainly what they said at Kentucky, is that he should have won more than what he did. It's if you want to use a Les Miles comparison, it's like look how many guys you got in the pros and how many championships you won. They both won 1, and you should have won more. So he certainly had that label.
I think you got to balance it a little bit because they're super, super talented. Their guys are really some of the best players in the world. But they were younger. But there's a little balance there. But he should have also balanced his roster a little bit. And even when he had Sheboy and he had a couple other, experienced players, didn't get it done. So, it's sometimes the wow hire is not the best hire. And it's early in the game, but there's no comparison with Pope. And Kentucky's a better coached team. He had to put that thing together last minute and did not have quite the budget. He's got a budget. We ain't going to feel sorry for resources and any coach at Lexington, but they're just a better coach team. I don't know how anybody can argue that. Right
no, and we hit Kentucky last night. That was my favorite play of the night last night. A couple things about Alabama. Number one, I haven't been in Coleman Coliseum in I'll forget the year, but it's at least 12 or 14 years. We went and waited out a baseball rain delay there one day. It was awful then, Jimmy. I don't imagine it's improved with age. Okay, and I say that LSU's in bad need of some upgrades as well. But so like I said, that was 12, 14, 15 years ago.
But no, Charlie, it's neglected too. LSU has dressed it up, and they've got some nice video boards, and they've got advanced. I mean, they don't have that. It looks that way. It looks that way.
They haven't been held under 70 points since the NCAA tournament in 23. And I believe that game was against San Diego State. They put that game up there. So the fact that they weren't able to score this is the first time they've been held under 70 points in a year and a half. That was, just astounding. Max had this stat. This is the first time that 2 top 5 SEC teams have lost at home in the same night ever. Now there hasn't there hasn't been a ton of those nights, I guess, where you played that. But is this the best win on the season? I was looking at this before. Ole Miss is winning at Alabama. Missouri's win at Florida last night. USC won at Illinois, and I think it was West Virginia that won at Kansas. I'm looking at top 5 teams that have lost a game at home.
Alabama's got a chance to win it all. Alabama's got a lot returning. They got an improved roster from a team that went to the Final Four last year and gave UConn their toughest game of the tournament. And keep in mind, what kind of game was that? I mean, that was up tempo. That's what they like to do. We've seen them drop 100 in the PMAC, under Oates at times. So this is the one. So I mean, it was. But there's little dips, and we look for big wins. And even though it's not a like court storm win, but man, you go to A&M, man, and they're ready for you. That's an impressive win to win as handily as they did. So, and this was a poor bench job by Oates last night. I mean, yeah, they were sloppy, but you let them play their pace and a tempo. And we've seen enough of Oates and his teams. They don't like it. They're not good at it. And now that's why you're bringing up that stat, because they just don't play, slow tempo basketball. And to just never getting any type of pressure the whole night and just sit and play. And he had a rough night last night.
Okay, so what do you think of Ole Miss's personnel? Because doesn't everybody try to do this? I mean, nobody goes into Alabama. Very few teams go to play Alabama and said, "Let's run with these guys." Doesn't everybody say, "Let's slow them down and let's try to defend them"? But Ole Miss was actually able to do it.
Yeah. Well, you had an accommodating opponent last night, and them not trying to, force, the tempo a little bit more, but. I said it yesterday, Charlie, as far as I know they're like 22, 23, 24, something like that. But I think Ole Miss is a Sweet 16 candidate, and I put them more top 12 or top 15 because of that guy on the bench. And he had to have a year to kind of get more of his. We know he had the budget immediately, but he had to get it and he's getting settled in. So they have some flexibility. The white kid with the headband is not a bad player. I've seen him knock him down, but he's also not afraid to go to the goal and rebound. They have a nice roster. Now, is it Auburn's roster? No. Can they play that type of game? Probably not. But this is a team that is going to get better. Was his Texas Tech team that should have won national championship the best roster in the country?
No,
not even close.
Mm-mm.
Not even close. But it took a tie in 3 at the end of regulation, or they're cutting down the net. And this is a team. There's so many teams in this league. What about the SEC tournament? My God! But they got a chance to make a deep run. I don't think they can win it all, but their draw falls right. And they get a break here. They're one of 6, 7, 8 teams that could go to the Final Four from the SEC.
There'll be a hard out. I'll use that term. There'll be a hard out.
They're going to get better. They're going to get better. His teams always do. Yeah.
Before we let you go, anything you like in the league tonight? Or we got a big matchup in Ames tonight. Kansas going to Iowa State.
Well, don't bet against the Cyclones in Ames first.
I'm not.
So,
I wouldn't bet the Nuggets. I wouldn't bet the Nuggets in Ames against Iowa State.
What wasn't Kansas number 1 in the country to start the season?
They were.
They not?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
So do we have to 6.5? So I cheated on this one, and I said I'm not going to lay that, but I do have them in a little money line parlay. I think Max knows the other ones too. I got Tennessee at home against Georgia. Georgia's going to the tournament. They're very good. I guess I'll go put that next on my list of SEC dumps to attend to in basketball. Stedman's pretty bad as well. So and there was one other one that I had. It was a home team. Purdue, yeah. Wait, no, Vanderbilt
at home against South Carolina.
Yes. So Vanderbilt, Tennessee, and Iowa State, all at home, all within 6 to 10 range as far as the range. But I'm not crazy about laying that number. So paying about even money for money line. Charlie, I did better on the phone with y'all yesterday, and then on Otter Lots was there. Our little run came to us, but I need to get back. Because I've been listening.
Yeah.
And I heard you, laying out the path of LSU going winless in the conference this year, 0-18. And then I listened at the top, and we liked the Tigers yesterday.
We did like the Tigers.
You
got to listen close now. What I said was, if they lost yesterday, 0-18 was on the table. I liked them in last night's game. I'll give you the one I like tonight. I'll take the third SEC home team tonight. You like Vandy and Tennessee. I like Oklahoma in the late game, laying 2.5 at home against Texas. That's my favorite pick of the night. Just so we get on the record, we bring the blue book back.
I love it. Dribble it out. Don't foul, Tennessee. Texas.
It's a sore subject around here, man. All right, Jimmy. Look, we'll check in with you tomorrow. Appreciate it. All right, see ya. We are brought to you in part by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. You know what? Dr. Michael Goff and his staff have helped us out so many times over the years. Neck pain, back pain, muscle soreness, things like that. They're just, keeping you from moving around the way you want to, restricting your motion, and keeping you from getting a good night's sleep. Let them target those problem areas, get you to feeling better, whether it's the exercise and stretches, the prehab, or, some of those other techniques like dry needling or electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy. They'll get you to feeling better. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. We'll take a break, come back, and we'll take a look with Randy McKay at the NFL divisional round. That is next from Los Reyes Mexican Grill. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Windows, doors, siding, and shutters. Relief Windows has it all for you. Your homeowners association require wood windows. We're proud to be the premier gelled wood windows company at Relief Windows. These wooden windows combine the beauty of real wood with high-tech energy efficiency, features for all climate zones, specially built for extreme weather conditions here in South Louisiana. Built using RLS wood, gelled windows come with a 20-year general warranty and a lifetime limited warranty against rot and termites, providing years of beauty and minimal maintenance. Sure wish I'd known about these gel windows from Relief Windows at the original construction of my home. Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com.
Are you looking for the perfect ride for your next getaway? Rent a car for the week at All-Star Toyota and only pay for 6 days. You get 7 days of adventure for the price of just 6. So whether you're headed out on a road trip, you need a vehicle for the week, or just want something new to drive, we've got you covered.
At All-Star Toyota, we offer a wide selection of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline and Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side. Did you know that over 50 million people are missing teeth and experience discomfort and embarrassment due to dentures that just don't fit? We have a solution to transform your life in one day. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. At Fusion Implant Center, we have witnessed life-changing transformations of so many patients, even those patients who were told that they couldn't be helped.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee painless and cost-effective procedures. We are the experts and teach this new technology all over the country.
The Fusion Implant Center, with its team of experts and state-of-the-art operating rooms, is conveniently located in one facility. No procedure is too complex for us. Every patient is a candidate. Let us give you back your confidence and smile.
Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com. Don't go one more day feeling insecure. Join the over 30,000 who have transformed their smile and enriched their lives in one single day.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? So you're not alone. And even better, HIMS can help. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/radio. It all starts with an online intake form. From there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crowntown Room at Dozy Place. The Crowntown Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze. For the perfect blend of sweet and spicy, you can't go wrong also with the flash-fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Dozy Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This new year, we resolve to get you the roll-off dumpster you need for your project. Start your new year outright. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
Nashville.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, LouisianaSports.net, 104.5 ESPN.com. New Handycast dropped last night. If you watch with us along on YouTube on the Handycast, we broke down the first half of LSU's transfer portal class with film back in December. We did the second half last night. I even got some film on the punter from Middle Tennessee, Max.
All right.
So you can check that out right now on the Handycast on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Pretty please. Let's bring in professional sports handicapper Randy McKay. Randy, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well here. A little chilly. It's supposed to get really cold here in Colorado, but not too bad so far. But yeah, the cold is coming.
There is a forecast here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for snow next week. Max is my weather guy. Max, we got. There's a possibility it's going to snow
Small
here.
chance. I'm seeing the models are kind of backing off of that right now, but back and forth, we got a chance.
Been 8 years since it has snowed here in Baton Rouge. We get it about once a decade. Is that fair?
I'd say twice a decade, once every 5 years.
Yeah. No, we don't get snow too often, but we may get some. We may get some next week. Randy, what were your thoughts about the wild card weekend? We saw 5 of the 6 games go under. We saw 5 of the 6 home teams win, and we saw I don't want to call it a coming out party for Jaden Daniels because he's been great all year. But for a lot of people that maybe hadn't seen him play in a full game or hadn't had a chance to zero in on him, that standalone game on Sunday night, if you didn't know who he was before, you damn sure do now.
Yeah, you saw the big chalk, of course, covering, and at least the totals went under. Otherwise, it would have been a hemorrhaging for the sports book, even though I think it was anyway. And then you saw the smaller favorites lose outright. So most of the bettors, I think, even had those outright. So it was a pretty good weekend overall for all bettors. Pretty decent weekend for me as well. I had most of the games under, and I had The only one I lost was on the Steelers. I took another shot with them at 10, but they're a dead dog and didn't really come through. But, hit an under on the Philly. And then, of course, the LA Rams was a pretty good decision for me, even though against my Minnesota Vikings team, I just thought it was a bad spot for them.
Yeah, I know you're a Vikings fan. You spent a lot of time in Dakotas. What would you do? What would you do, and what do you think the Vikings will do with their quarterback situation?
Yeah, I trust the coaching staff and the general manager here, and whatever they do, if they feel like they're going to keep Darnold, of course, I think Darnold's maybe fool's gold, but we've kind of seen that the last two games. But or if McCarthy is going to be their option, which they drafted him going forward, which kind of looks like it is. But I trust the coaching staff here, so hopefully they make the right decision, and they get a pretty good team there. So hopefully they build on this record this year.
All right, Randy, we move on to the divisional round. We've got three pretty healthy favorites in the Eagles, Lions, and Chiefs. And then the one that seems to be, in a lot of people's minds, a coin flip game, the Ravens and the Bills. I believe that the Bills opened up a 1-point favorite, and that has gone all the way across the zero. Now Baltimore's a 1-point favorite. Max's favorite analytics have got this as a 50, literally a 50 game.
ESPN FPI. I love that.
Right. I can't even believe I'm letting you cite that on the show. And the Bills have never been a home underdog in the playoffs. So what's got your eye as we move toward the picks here for the divisional round?
All right, I'll start in order here with the Houston Kansas City game here, and of course I always look at the weather reports. We got 3 weather games and 1 game in a dome. Even though that reporter that asked Todd Bowles that question didn't know Detroit had the dome, but that was kind of funny.
Yikes!
But we got a warm weather team Houston playing 17 degree and wind in Kansas City. Russ versus playing here is kind of an issue. Did KC get too much rust? So we'll find out. I think this Houston team has one of the best defenses left here. So I consider the dog here going to be a little live. Last time they played 27-19. I could see that kind of back and forth game here. Like what I've seen out of Stroud and getting Mixon going on the running game here. So I consider Houston a little bit of a live dog, even though they're, out of the dome and playing outside.
Chiefs was showing 8.5 right now. So Texans plus 8.5 is your play there. That night game in Detroit inside at Ford Field. There's Jaden Daniels again. We're showing Detroit 9.5-point favorite. I think around game number 2.
Yeah, nothing for me in that game yet. I would probably wait and see. If you like Washington, you probably get that 10 mark and then go from there. And but that game is a total pass for me at these numbers so far. So, but I have plays in the other 2 on Sunday.
And that total is all the way up at 55.5 in Commanders and Lions. All right, let's talk about the games on Sunday. You like picks in both Rams, Eagles, and Ravens, Bills.
Yeah, and of course, look at the weather reports here for the, you got a warm weather team in the Rams going to Philly here. Supposed to get some, maybe even a little snow rain mix. So could be a little tough here. Of course, Stafford kind of used to playing in this. He made many trips over the years in his career, Green Bay and stuff. So should be all right here. This game kind of looks like maybe it's going to be a slobber knocker to me. Philly, Hurts didn't really look like he got rid of the rust last week. They relied on the running game, which should be an option here. So I see a lot of possessions. Rams defense has stepped up, last 5-6 weeks here. So under the total of 44.5 is my play here. Now, if they keep betting the Rams up, I would probably look towards doing a parlay too with the Rams and under. If you can get like a 7.5 or 7 and the under would be a pretty good option. So that's my take in that game.
All right, Rams Eagles under 44.5, and if it does go up onto that key number, getting onto Los Angeles. All right, the big one. One of these teams could easily win the Super Bowl if they're able to win here. Ravens and the Bills. We're showing Baltimore 1 right now in a total of 51.5.
Yeah, in this game here, another weather report, but you got two cold weather teams, like 20 degrees, winds 5 to 10. So it sounds like T-shirt weather up there in Buffalo. So not too bad up there, and something I didn't say last game too, this is a rematch. The Philly Rams game was a rematch, 37-20. So of course they have familiarity. This game too is a rematch. Week 4, the Baltimore, I had a nice bet on Baltimore. I remember they won 35-10, and the Bills' weaker defense could not handle the combination of Jackson and Henry on the running game here. And I think they're still going to have a tough time with this matchup here. You saw Henry have like 200 yards against the Steelers. And this Bills defense, I'm just not that high on. They give up a lot of rush yards. We saw, a few weeks ago they played in LA and they had trouble with that run game, and their defense has kind of been a liability. And can Josh Allen keep up? And it's just going to be a tough thing, and also Baltimore might get Flowers back. So I already bet Baltimore to pick, and probably will have more on it.
Randy, last week, what surprised me is I thought Baltimore really bullied Pittsburgh, and those teams played twice in the regular season, division opponents, and both of those games were close. I know Baltimore got away in the second game, and the final was 34-17. The game was, I thought, much closer than that. It was a one-score game going into the fourth quarter. Those two teams usually play straight up. Pittsburgh had won a lot of those games, but I don't ever remember one of those teams bullying the other one, just really bullying them the way that Baltimore bullied Pittsburgh on Saturday.
Yeah, and if you look at the historical trends there, a 3-point game hasn't been far from it. In the last 20 games, I think, 15, 16 of them been right around that 3-4 point range. So, I was real surprised by that. And, they covered the number, the big number. And this team is a freight train on offense. And, a team that can run the ball doesn't turn the ball over much. So, you got that going for them as well. And, Bills are going to have to take some chances, and, maybe Josh Allen has a couple, even though he hasn't this year, but maybe he has his turnover game as well.
That freight train's wearing number 22 for Baltimore. I wouldn't want to tackle him in regular weather, much less in 16 degrees, I think, at kickoff is what we got in Buffalo on Sunday night. Randy, we always appreciate your time. Thanks a lot. Good luck to you on your picks, giving us Texans, Rams, Eagles under, and the Ravens in the divisional round. Randy, thanks a bunch.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Have a good weekend, and good luck, everybody out there.
We're brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing. Total Maintenance, your one-stop sales and service shop for all of these needs. Since 1980, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Slogan's always been service today, every day, so you don't have to go to sleep uncomfortable. Right now, that means keeping you warm. Right now with the cold temperatures we've got in Baton Rouge and coming up next week. Full service in both New Orleans and Baton Rouge, full staff, authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Ream AC units. Generac and Cummings generators as well. All your electrical and plumbing needs in Baton Rouge, 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Live at Los Reyes, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. Our great team at United Community Bank, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Prentice Wilkes, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, and David Henry. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Water is water, right? Not when it's Evermore. Smooth tasting Evermore water is Mother Nature's masterpiece. Evermore is natural artesian water. Maybe you want a healthier lifestyle, a high-end athlete who wants better hydration, or a parent who wants something healthier for their kids. You want Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore. Available at great local retailers.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Lofton Staffing Services, 924-0200, and lofton.jobs. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. The LSU Alumni Association and the Cook Hotel and Conference Center. For reservations, thecookhotel.com.
Go local and go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. No monthly maintenance fees, no balance requirements, and no strings attached. Just the safety and security that comes with Baton Rouge's largest credit union. And with direct deposit set up through NFCU's Early Payday program, you can get access to your funds up to 3 days early. Come by one of our 11 area branches or apply online at neighborsfcu.org. Go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA.
The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, downtown facing Town Square. At Jolie Pearl, we're pretty shucking good. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Fin Bomb, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
You know, Demco is more than just an electric company. We're your local member-owned co-op, your neighbors, your family, and your friends. Whether it's helping you manage your account, offering energy-saving tips, or investing in the next generation through scholarships and youth programs, we're here for you every step of the way, enriching communities, building careers, and supporting the lives of our members. Demco, powering life and community. That's the cooperative difference.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
What up, y'all? It's T-Bob. Why don't you come join me at the grand opening of the Ochsner Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute at the Elite Training Academy. It'll be Thursday, January 16th from 3 to 5 p.m. And check it out. It's the newest destination for comprehensive sports performance and care. 5414 Burbank Drive. See you there.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padilla at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com.
Christmas carols with Jake and James of Trash Rangers. Frosty the Trash Man, call Trash Rangers. Good Lord. I can't believe y'all made me do this.
Glow Resources, complete employer solutions. GlowResources.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Quinn Ewers put his name in the NFL draft this morning. 21-5 as a starter at Texas the last 2 years, 2 semifinal appearances in the college football playoff. Max, is Quinn Ewers a starting NFL quarterback?
I don't think so, but I will say I find myself constantly defending him and thinking that he's a better pro caliber quarterback than people give him credit for.
That's why I asked you, because I don't think he is.
I don't think he's a starter, no, but I think he's going to go a lot earlier than some people expect.
What do you think he's going to go?
I think he's a day 2 pick.
Yeah, I think he's a late day 2 pick.
I think he could go in the second round. I mean, this is a weaker class. We were questioning who the third quarterback in this class is, whether it's Milroe or Dart if he comes out, or I think Ewers is sort of, on some boards could be in that conversation.
I think he's a late third. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes in the fourth. But we'll see. Maybe the quarterback bump he gets. This is what surprises me about him. He couldn't go back to Texas. He went with the senior day stuff and all that. Sure. He can't hold off Arch Manning for another year. They can't. Even if he was better, okay, Manning's going to start next year. This is how that is. I thought he was going to Oregon. I really did. No, Oregon is now slated to start Dante Moore at quarterback next year. You remember Dante Moore? He was a starter as a true freshman at UCLA 2 years ago. Didn't exactly set the world on fire. Had a good start and then kind of tapered off. I would submit to you that Ewers would have made way more money at Oregon next year than he'll make wherever he ends up in the NFL. But good luck to him. We'll see. I've been wrong before, but I think he's probably a late day 2 pick and probably not an NFL starter. But we'll see. Hour number 2 straight ahead here at Los Reyes, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Total Maintenance for AC and heating, generators, electricity, and plumbing. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. Service today, every day. Nobody likes to go to sleep hot. With a full staff in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Total Maintenance is an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, and Generac and Cummings generators. In Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. New Orleans, 841-3300. Total Maintenance, your authorized AC dealer.
Majestic Metals is located in Sorrento with over 60 years experience in the pre-engineered metal building industry. Majestic Metals is the leading metal roofing manufacturer with high-quality products, superior customer service, and a fast turnaround. We offer both commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Start the new year at the Louisiana Marathon, the running festival with a race for everyone, Saturday, January 18th in downtown Baton Rouge. Run, jog, or walk the Window World Louisiana Marathon 5K or quarter marathon and sign your kids up for the Louisiana Blue Kids Marathon. Runners take over the streets for the half marathon and full marathon. And there's the unforgettable Visit Baton Rouge Finish Fest with authentic Louisiana cuisine and Grammy Award winners Lost Bayou Ramblers. Register at the LouisianaMarathon.com.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Through the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Hey guys, this is Kellen Martin with First South Farm Credit in Zachary. When you're in the market for land, you want a lender who can give you the most options. At First South, we understand what it means to own your own piece of land. Maybe you're ready to get out of that deer lease and get your own property. Or maybe you just want 10 acres to build a home on outside of the city. Whatever it is, call me, Kellen Martin, at First South Farm Credit in Zachary. Or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
New year, new you. New voice. Won't you be the voice of change for a child? This is Sherry Beal, Board Chair for Child Advocacy Services, and we are looking for volunteers through our CASA program. CASA volunteers are everyday citizens who are trained to advocate for children. Over 100 children in our community are waiting for you to be their voice. Visit childadv.net or call 1-800-798-1575 to learn how you can be the change for a child.
Great. Your windshield cracked. Now what? Call Advanced Windshield. You have things to do. That's why they come to you. Advanced Windshield is the leading mobile, auto glass, and camera calibration provider in our area. Call 225-248-6788 or visit advancedwindshield.com.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Coming on, see us here at Los Reyes, Nicholson at Lee, right across from Mike Anderson's happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30 every day. That's with your margaritas, your draft beer, and your house wine, all on discounts. Coming on, part of our lunch menu is a Mexican pizza, which I'm going back with again today. That double-decker pizza, if you will, absolutely fantastic. Quesadillas, enchiladas, burritos, and a really, 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 really good margarita. I know. I've tested more than one. It's all about truth in advertising, quality control. I had more than separate visits, of course, but really good margaritas here at Los Reyes. We're bringing Scott Rabelais from the Advocate. Rab, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, Charlie. I've got to say real quick, and I'm being serious. First class, second class, no class is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
On local radio every week. I really enjoy it, and I got a laugh yesterday when you let off first class with Lisa Morrow, who certainly deserved it for her, her 2,500, 1,500 for a rebound milestone. And you said, that's the end of the good news.
Well, it was. It was. I folded second class into no class yesterday, and I didn't do a very good job of it because what the second class was that they were at least going to keep an open mind about the quarterback situation. And I got a column coming out tomorrow at LouisianaSports.net, which is basically it's going to say Mike McCarthy's got, a chance to, if he gets his job, to influence Mickey Loomis on some of the ways that they've been running this organization. I don't know if anybody else does, because Loomis doesn't listen to. He runs it the way he runs it, and he's not. If there's somebody in the building that's telling him different, he's not listening to them. Okay, so either they all think that burying yourself in the salary cap, trading away draft choices, extending these contracts forever, and drafting the way they have is the way to go, or they're telling him different and he's not listening. Maybe he'll listen to McCarthy. I don't know. But it was a sobering press conference, if nothing else, because listen to him and listen to Mike Tomlin. Okay. Mike Tomlin, whose team has made the playoffs how many years in a row, Max? I know he's never had a losing season, but they got to the playoffs and they got drilled. And he basically talked yesterday about, listen, man, this ain't right. We're kind of stuck in this middle ground, and I don't want to be stuck. And optimism's not the right word to use today. I mean, a lot of people are fed up with Tomlin in Pittsburgh because he hasn't taken that next step in a long time. But the guy, has them competitive and winning every year. Saints are 30-38 since Breeze hung up his cleats, man. I don't get it, but that's just what it is right now. So we'll see. But yes, that was the end of the good news yesterday, Rab. And I'm glad you enjoyed the segment. You enjoyed the basketball.
Always.
You enjoyed the basketball game last night. You and the PMAC for LSU's 4-point win against Arkansas.
It was an entertaining game. It wasn't the most beautiful game I've ever seen. I mean, these are two teams that were deserving of their 0-3 SEC records coming in, but LSU got a win and good for them. I mean, you have to temper the enthusiasm that if you might feel if you're an LSU fan by the fact that Arkansas is not very good either, and it took everything LSU could do. I mean, 27 points from Cam Carter and going 20 of 26 of 28 at the free throw line, and having 11 blocked shots to win that game. But they did win it, and they got a win, and they I guess the best thing you would say, Charlie, is they looked like they were trying. They looked like they were giving an effort, and because they started the game 1 of 13 from the field, and coming off of another discouraging loss, it's easy to get down on yourself, and they didn't. They fought and they came back, and so hey, that's good news, for the moment. But then the season rolls on in the SEC, as you know. I mean, now they're going to Texas A&M on Saturday, so frying pan to the fire for sure.
I'm glad they won. I really don't want to go up here after every game and go, are they going to win one? Are they going to win one? So I'm glad they won one. They're going on the road.
Me too. I don't want to sound like a fan or anything. I never want to sound like a fan. But I mean, these guys are trying. They're sitting there in front of you. They're making an effort. And Matt McMahon, I think, is a good coach and a good guy. You wish them success, but it's been rare, and it's going to continue to be rare. But this is a nice reprieve.
He is a nice guy. Is he a good coach? I don't know. I mean, I guess he's an okay coach. Scott, I haven't seen this guy coach very many conference games at LSU where the talent level is comparable. Okay, I would say, what does he coach now? 18 and 18, and now 4. So it's 40. He's coached 40 conference games here at LSU. How many games have the talent level that LSU's had with who they've played? How many times has it been comparable?
Well, that's a good question.
I'll tell you, my guess is probably about a quarter of those games.
A quarter, yeah. I was going to say a quarter of the time. Yeah,
10 to 15 of those games. The other 25, you can have Phil Jackson on the bench. I mean, they're not going to beat Auburn. They're not going to win in Tuscaloosa. They're not equipped to do that. So, as far as his bench coaching, I guess it's okay. But the bench coaching only matters if you got a fighting chance with the lineup that you put out there. And they don't have a lineup that can compete with the top half of the SEC on a night in, night out. They may pull an upset here or there, but I don't see it. Last year, maybe I should give him more credit, because last year getting that roster to 9-9 in the league was a pretty good accomplishment. So I hope they do well, but I know he can't he can't get this club to a championship level unless there's an influx of cash to get players. I mean, that's just what it is. But I'm glad they won last night.
No, but you're right. How good is it? You can't really judge unless you get the players, and that's part of being a good coach.
Yeah.
Kim Mulkey looks like a good coach, doesn't she? Well, she's got a nucleus of Anissa Morrow, Flaujah Johnson, and Michaela Williams. Anyone would love to have. So that's part of it. So for sure.
All of whom she went out and got, okay, transfer portal or recruiting or whatever. So yeah, you gotta go hustle players. That's just what it is. Speaking of the LSU women's basketball team, nice win against Vanderbilt. Really a terrific game at Tennessee, who's very, very good this year. Getting the bucket at the end there. And this coming Thursday, a week from tomorrow, they are at South Carolina, who's number 2 in the country. And I think I don't have to talk to anybody about that rivalry. I think it's pretty well known. In between that, Scott, is what I call the mother of all trap games. They go to Florida, who's not very good. They're 11-7. They have lost home games in the league, but boy, a road game before going to South Carolina. This is a real trap game for LSU if they let it be.
Yeah, I would say LSU, should definitely win the game, and should probably win, by double digits. ESPN gives LSU an 88% chance of winning, but they've shown just enough vulnerability. And Kim said it after the game the other night. She said, "We're just not equipped to blow a lot of people out. They're equipped to win games." And you look at their last 3 games as evidence of that. They beat Auburn here by 10. Auburn kind of gave them a tough time. You win at Tennessee. Tennessee has improved. They're a top 16 seed, I would say, at this point. And you win that game any way you can. And then you beat Vandy by 6, who again has a good record and has improved somewhat under Shea Ralph, but they're not the top echelon of the SEC. So yeah, it's a trap game. It's definitely a game LSU should win. I expect they will win and go to South Carolina 20-0 next Thursday. But it's one that they're going to have to be on their toes about, because this team tends to get off to slow starts and come alive in the second quarter and then kind of wear teams down. I think that's kind of been their MO. They definitely have more depth this year, so especially in the backcourt. So they're able to wear teams down and then kind of pull away at the end. But they don't want to let an underdog hang around and feel like they have a shot to win. And Florida would be in that MO, but they haven't been anybody really good this season. That's for sure.
No, it would be. It's a total spot. If LSU and Florida played 20 times, LSU would probably win 18 or 19 easy. But it's a spot that concerns me. Last 2 weeks, the professional golfers have been playing golf inside. I'm going to let Max jump in here for a minute because you guys have both watched a little bit. I've watched none of it. But tell me why or why not I should be watching golf inside.
Yeah, well, it kind of matches the elements, right? I mean, just over the whole country, it's almost like the frozen tundra. We may even get snow next week, right? Here in Baton Rouge. So it seems like a good time for giant indoor simulator golf. It's okay. You know, I don't hate it. Like I hate live golf. It's well documented. You know, it's for what it is. I think there's some things they could do to improve it. Like, hey, how about not a team? How about bringing in a Nelly Corda or some of the LPGA stars? Have them be part of the team or something like that, or maybe a senior tour player like Bernhard Langer or something like that. But anyway, it's not trying to take down or take anything away from the PGA Tour, and it's pretty well done. Obviously, you can't. I saw Hideki Matsuyama the other day. He hit a shot that went between the branches of a tree. I mean, like the width of the space was a couple, like 2 feet wide, and he didn't mean to do it. And he was laughing at himself, like, this is not what I was trying to do. But he was sitting out of the rough and doing that. So you're not going to have that kind of thing in this event. You're not going to have the vagaries of the wind and elements and that sort of thing. But it's okay, and it's enjoyable for fans to see Tiger Woods do anything nowadays. You're giving him in drips and drabs, and he was out there last night, and it was funny to watch him airmail a wedge shot onto the virtual green, and they showed his son Charlie in the stands. Like, Dad, what are you doing? That was a terrible shot.
Charlie laughing at him was the one highlight that I did see. Max, should I or should I not watch golf inside?
The poll of more casual, just kind of very customary, major type of golf fans that I've watched, actually I've really enjoyed this. I'm not sure if it's for me as like a hardcore golf fan. It's a little, I kind of wish it was more gimmicky where they had to hit just random shots because it is on a simulator. It's not true real golf. So I kind of wish they tricked it out a little bit more, but ultimately it's backed by ESPN. It's in prime time. Scott Van Pelt is part of the broadcast. So they're putting a lot of resources into it. I think it's going to survive for a while. It's entertaining, but it's not something that is like gripping that you have to have your attention on at all times. It's kind of something that I think works more in the background of something, I guess.
No, Max is right. I'm trying to watch at least part of every PGA Tour event. I'm not going to sit down and watch this every week. I definitely wanted to tune in last night because Tiger was playing. He didn't play last week, so it's worth a little downtime. It's on a Tuesday night, right? I mean, in January and February. So what the hell? You
guys have convinced me. If there's no college basketball, if there's no football, if TNT isn't playing a replay of Shawshank Redemption, then I can watch, right?
That's right. When LSU baseball starts playing on a Tuesday.
If LSU baseball starts playing, I'm not watching golf inside. I'm watching that.
I will say, Scott, you might have played better than Kevin Kisner did last night. It was rough for the guy who's now going to be a commentator in golf. He was not ready for the moment.
Maybe relegation, like in the Premier League, should be part of the TGL. we're relegating you, Kevin. We're bringing in Nelly Corda. Yeah,
Tiger gave himself the worst team. It's crazy.
Well, because they watch Tiger no matter what. Tiger's good for the game. Okay, he's good for the game. Pretty much. I wish all of his time was spent on fixing this live thing. They were supposed to merge a year and 13 months ago.
Don't hold your breath.
Yeah, exactly. So get to work on that. Saban should be the commissioner of college football. Tiger Woods should be the commissioner of golf now that he's not playing as often anymore. We'll let him play the Masters. We'll let him play the majors. But the rest of the time, he's the commissioner of golf.
Charlie, there was a guy who got booted off of live golf. They plucked him out of college and said, and now he's got no place to play. The PGA Tour's got a ban on you for a year, and he's like playing India, and he's like, All it was money. There was nothing else. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Money is all that matters to you. That might be all you get. You know.
Rab, we always appreciate it. You're less than 3 months away from the Masters, so that's your golf. Thanks a lot, Scott. We'll talk to you next week.
Yes, guys. Take care.
We're brought to you by Home Bank, Louisiana-based since 1908 for your personal and business banking solutions right now with CDs with terrific rates, but also for low minimum balances that you can get in right now. Great opportunity for you to stack up some returns on your money and talk to local bankers here that can work through your own personal situations. Talk to one of the local bankers here at Corporate Boulevard, Sherwood Forest, Long Farm Village, and Bluebonnet. Also, Home Bank locations in Acadiana, New Orleans, the North Shore, Natchez, and Houston. Visit Home 24 Bank for more information. Home Bank member FDIC. Take a break. Come back here at Los Reyes Mexican Grill. Lee at Nicholson. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox Services can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x10, 8x8, 8x20, 8x40, not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padial, Workbox, a call at 343-4886, workboxllc.com.
Happy 10th anniversary to Vex European. That's 10 years of service, 10 years of specialization, 10 years of Vexpertise. If you drive a European vehicle, check them out online at vexeuropean.com, vexeuropean.com. That's Vex with a V.
This is Robbie Bolton, owner of Evolve Physical Therapy and Sports. Now that training for spring sports is upon us and throwing programs are ramping up, come into Evolve PT and Sports for your shoulder and scapular assessment. Lots of components are at work to provide that pain-free throwing motion. How is your trunk and hip mobility? Is your scapular and rotator cuff muscles working together? Any anatomical variations that predispose you to injury? Prevent these types of issues in the off-season with a functional movement assessment and isokinetic test to see where your arm health is for the upcoming season.
Visit evolvept.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
Now's the time to shop limited-time doorbuster deals during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Save $50 on a Little Giant King Combo 6-foot ladder. Was $199, now $149. Plus, save $100 on a DeWalt XR 20-volt Power Stack 5 amp-hour battery. Was $199, now $99. Get these can't-miss deals now before they're gone. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Doorbusters valid 1/13 through 1/15. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with the sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge invites you to celebrate the most wonderful time of the year with us, bowl season. Starting Wednesday, December 18th through Monday, January 20th, listen to live play-by-play of a variety of college bowl games, including all the rounds of the college football playoffs and national championship.
Here we go!
For a complete schedule of games you'll hear, visit 1045ESPN.com. Celebrate bowl season with 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today, and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation.
Is this the golf segment?
No, it's just Wes Reynolds, but we're going to ask him about golf.
Oh, because I have a golf picks rejoin I had, but then we stopped doing golf.
No, it's not that yet. Not that yet.
Just let me know because I want to use it.
Just Wes.
They're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
At Lewis Mechanical, no plumbing job's too big or too small, and we have the best technicians around. Lewis Mechanical specializes in both commercial and residential plumbing repairs.
Lewis Mechanical, keeping plumbing humming.
If you live in Ascension or Livingston Parish, you need one of our red cans this new year. Just make the switch. It's a perfect New Year's resolution. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
And we return here, Los Reyes Mexican Grill, bringing Wes Reynolds. Wes, I'm a real positive guy, man. So I'm going to start with the positive news because I want to give you big props for giving us Nick Taylor last week at 115-1. Max was I never seen him grip the table quite like that when we were watching this weekend. And I'll save the bad news for later when we get to Indiana basketball. So kudos on Nick Taylor last week at 115-1.
Charlie, thank you, man. Once Max said he liked it, it was hammer time on Nick Taylor on that long shot. And yeah, I was watching it as well. The football game certainly airing during that time was kind of boring and a little bit lacking with the Packers and the Eagles. And I had actually switched it off when Nick Taylor missed those 2 4-footers on 15 and 16, both for birdie. I was like, okay, this is over. And then all of a sudden, I'm looking at the other monitor, and then I see a ball going towards the hole, chipped off the green from 18th. I was like, okay, who hit that shot? Because I wasn't watching it that closely. And all of a sudden, I saw the fist pump that it was Nick Taylor. I was like, oh, man, he's at least going to be in the playoffs. So at least we're going to be able to hedge out and at least break even or make a little money. But nice to get it home at least, man. Nice to get a big one home early in the season.
Max was grinding on Taylor. I was grinding on the Eagles. We were grind table on Sunday afternoon. Let's give me your thoughts about the and we want to get your we're gonna get your picks before the end of the segment, of course, the American Express this week. But your thoughts about the wild card weekend and what stood out to you in the NFL.
Yeah, I think what stood out to me. I felt the team that was the most impressive was the Ravens, and now you're seeing them as favorites on the road at Buffalo, and that's no surprise. The defense is just a total 180 from the start of the season, where they were almost dead last in the league in pass defense, and then they make a couple little switches. They put Marlon Humphrey in the slot, and they put Kyle Hamilton at safety. Then all of a sudden, they're the number 1 pass defense in the league. And then Dean Pease coming in, the former defensive coordinator, is like a consultant or an advisory role. Well, for a first-year defensive coordinator. But I thought Baltimore was impressive. Most of the games were not competitive, except for what we saw on Sunday night. We had some decent spots though over the weekend. I thought Houston ended up being a really good spot because some of these teams that do make the playoffs, and there's always a handful every single year, play easier schedules. And I think that you saw that with the Chargers. I think that you saw that a little bit with the Minnesota Vikings losing big to the Rams on Monday night. Some of these teams, Denver as well against Buffalo, these teams that play these easy schedules, all of a sudden they get in the playoffs and they just look overmatched. And I think we saw that a lot last weekend.
All right, let's move ahead then. The divisional round of the playoffs coming up here starting on Saturday. Who's your favorites coming into this week? And you can take underdogs, I meant. What are your picks, I guess would be a better way to ask that question.
Yeah, look, the underdogs hadn't had a good year. A little bit better last weekend, thankfully. But when I'm looking at this, there is actually a favorite that stands out to me. And boy, do I hate to be on a big favorite in the playoffs. But this is a team that I got to fade, even though they've been a hell of a story. And obviously there's a local tie there with the quarterback. But, man, the Washington Commanders just find ways to get breaks. And they've been winning these close games at the end all year, and especially in the last several weeks, including against the New Orleans team that was pretty much DOA, and they had to hang on against them. They had to hang on late against Dallas with Trey Lance starting at quarterback. This might be one where I got to lay the 9 with the Lions here. And I know that the Lions are a public team, that they keep covering numbers, but I think there might be a little bit of value here. This has gone under double digits now. So I may end up laying it with the 9 on the Lions. And in terms of a total, I do like Houston, Kansas City under 42. I think Stroud's going to struggle offensively, and he even struggled against the Chargers, even though they ended up being the convincing side at the end due to the turnovers. But you only got one receiver really to throw to, and that's Nico Collins. And I think Steve Spagnuolo might be able to take him away. So I see a low-scoring game Saturday afternoon with Houston and Kansas City.
You know, as far as Daniels and the Commanders go, you're right. That's 5 straight games that they won essentially on the last play of the game. Wes, and we'll be rooting for him again on Saturday night. But if Washington gets beat, even if Washington gets beat soundly, you want to talk about house money. Jaden Daniels' first season has so far exceeded what would be reasonable to expect of any rookie quarterback, much less one going into an organization like Washington, which has had to completely start over. And I say that in a good way. New owner, new coach, new quarterback, new attitude, everything. So if they get beat Saturday night, and they probably will, the Lions seem like they're kind of destined for this. It has been an unbelievable start to a career for Jaden Daniels. So if he loses, hey, great year, kid. We'll see you back next year when I promise you we're not going to get 33-1 on you to win the MVP next year in the preseason.
This shit, man, he's got the goods, and just the poise that he has had when you compare it even some other rookie quarterbacks. And I know Bo Nix had varying levels of success in his rookie season, and Drake May certainly has a lot of potential. We'll see what happens with Williams if they can actually get a coach around him and get around him. But yeah, Daniels is how poised he has been in these games and just doesn't make the big mistakes that you see these rookies make. And, you know, knows when to take off and run, knows when to hang in the pocket and go ahead and let the play develop. So I've been super impressed with Jaden Daniels.
Anything on either one of the Sunday games that you like?
Yeah, looking at that, I kind of like the Eagles because I like to bet against what we see last. And I was on the Rams on Monday night, and look, they were super impressed, but they were off a bye week essentially because Stafford and Nakua and Kupp and none of the key guys on defense really played against Seattle. So McVay treated that as a bye week. You get a Minnesota team that almost had the number 1 seed and home field advantage in the entire NFC, and then they got to go on the road, and they were just done early on. The Rams, I think, really put it to bed early. So now you get the betting public that's saying, oh, this Rams team is really good, and now going to Philadelphia, even though Philadelphia covered the game, they weren't very impressive at all. I think against Green Bay, probably got a gift call early to put the Packers behind the 8 ball. But this is where I kind of buy on a weak favorite, if you will, with Philadelphia. And it did go down to 5. Now it's back up to 6 because I think a lot of some of the wise guys, I think, are maybe at the same way that I do, is that I think Philadelphia is sitting on a good performance here. I think Hurts was obviously rusty coming off that concussion. I would expect much better this time around.
All right, Lions, Eagles, and Texans, Chiefs under Wes's picks for the week. All right, I put it off long enough. Wes, when I was a teenager, I read Season on the Brink. I've always kind of watched Indiana basketball, since then, maybe a little bit closer than I would watch other teams in the Big Ten. I'm fascinated by the history. So that's why last night when they gave up more points than they ever have in a regulation game at Assembly Hall, and the team was essentially booed off the floor, and Mike Woodson is probably the least popular person in the state right now, it certainly caught my attention. I even told Max at the end of the show yesterday, I was like, is Indiana worth a look at home tonight, catching points? They were not. So what's up with your Hoosiers?
Yeah, look, in this era, it is so hard to build a program culture, not only with the portal, but with the NIL. And it's like some teams, some programs are actual programs. Some have teams. And right now, Indiana just has a bunch of individual guys. Like, there's no chemistry. There's no culture. I don't think Mike Woodson is the right guy for this job, and we'll see, if he gets one more year. I think he has a couple more years on his contract, but his buddy Quinn Buckner from the Board of Trustees is the one that put him in that job, and Buckner's term is up at the end of the year, so maybe there's going to be a change, but just there's no culture. That was one. I've been watching Indiana basketball for the better part of 40 years, and that first half was one of the worst first halves of Indiana basketball I'd ever seen at Assembly Hall, and it saddened me to see them boo, because it's like, we're Indiana, we don't boo at Assembly Hall, we don't boo our team. But, don't get down 30 to Illinois. I know Illinois has got a top 5 pick with Kasaris Yakasionis. I know they have him. But still, you shouldn't be down 30 at home. Indiana's got enough talent to at least be competitive in this conference. I don't see it getting any better. And you're looking at a team that's 13-5. It's like, oh, that's not a bad record, but they haven't beaten anybody. And now they're going to go through the gauntlet. Now you got to play Purdue, and you got to play Michigan and Michigan State, and some of the better teams in the conference. And those wins are going to be few and far between over the next month.
A couple of thoughts before we get to the golf. 2 candidates for, I think, win of the year in college basketball last night in the SEC. Ole Miss winning by 10 at Alabama, and Missouri winning by a point in Gainesville in what was a very, very entertaining game. But Florida came back from down 16 at the half and almost got there. There's a couple other candidates for win of the year, but the 2 strong ones out of the SEC last night.
Yeah, look, I think almost any win in the SEC with that gauntlet is going to be a win of the year. And you've got a lot of good teams. I mean, we were talking about last week, there could be 12 or 13 teams out of that conference. And one of them might not be Arkansas, because I was watching the Tigers last night against Arkansas, watched that game a little bit late, and the Hogs 0-4. And, man, they got a lot of star rankings on that roster, but never really taught them how to play basketball because they just look so disorganized. So, nice win for the Bayou Bengals. Dare I say, maybe today Arkansas could be the worst team in the SEC as we stand, and you wouldn't think that with all the talent that they have on that roster and the pedigree. But look, this is a great league. There's several teams that could reach the Final Four, so I've been enjoying it, even though I'm a Big Ten guy, man. Like, we could talk our mess during football season. We got nothing to say in basketball, because I'm just glad there's not an SEC Big Ten challenge this year.
Yeah, we took it out on the ACC.
We might not win a game.
ACC only won 1, so you might be right.
All right, Wes. American Express this week. For those of you in our audience who might not bet golf too much, it is very hard to hit golf outright winners. So Wes is going to try to do it again here this week. That would be pretty impressive to go back-to-back. But 3 courses in the rotation this week in La Quinta. They played the Pete Dye Stadium course twice and a couple others as well. Scotty Scheffler and Xander Schauffele were supposed to be in this field originally. They have withdrawn earlier this week, and Scheffler a little bit earlier than that. What are you going with, Wes? It's kind of an open field a lot of times. Nick Dunlap, the amateur, won at really long odds last year.
Yeah, Max, this is really hard to go up like shorter price guys, considering this is a birdie fest. These 3 courses in the rotation, I believe, ranked 2nd, 3rd, and 4th respectively behind Kapalua as the easiest courses on the PGA Tour last year. So you can't just maybe take the short guys, and I did not this week because this is such a wide open event. I did go, my shortest guy was Wyndham Clark, 33-1. Tied for 15th at the Century, led the field in driving distance, runner-up at the Players last year, which is a Pete Dye design. PGA West, by the way, the stadium course, where they'll play one of the first 3 days, and then after the cut on Sunday is where everybody finishes up, is also a Pete Dye. So you could look at maybe some of those Pete Dye courses and how these guys play. Clark won that Pebble Beach, that weather-shortened event earlier last year where we did the rain dance and got home with him. So proven player here on the West Coast. Wyndham Clark, 33. Sepp Straka, 60-1. Top 10 on approach last week in Hawaii, even though he finished 30th. He finished 4th on this course back in 2020. And then Brian Harmon has had some success here. Hasn't won, but at 66-1, a guy that's finished 3rd here twice, 2017, 2022. Also great on Pete Dye designs. Really good on short courses, as he's a straight hitter, but not a long hitter off the tee. So Harmon at 66. Adam Hadwin at 75-1. Saw his buddy Nick Taylor win at the Sony last week. The guy that's a 2-time runner-up here is Adam Hadwin. And remember, he was the guy that went unrecognized and got tackled on the green when Nick Taylor won that playoff a couple of years ago in Canada. So Maybe Hadwin's going to take a little mojo from his buddy. And then a couple longer shots. Mac Meisner, 90-1, who was fourth in the field on approach last week, even though he finished T21. Daniel Berger, you can get him around 80-90-1. Missed a cut last week in Sony, but the approach game was good. Tee Green was good. Just couldn't make any putts. Also really good on Pete Dye. And then with Dick Taylor last week, I got to have a triple-digit guy at least every week. How about Adam Schenk at 175-1? T6 last week at the Sony Open. Sounding very confident here. He's a real streaky player. Like when he has a good finish, he tends to follow it up with another good finish or two. So Adam Schenk at 175, maybe he could be our Nick Taylor this week.
You're going to make me bet a golfer with the name Shank? That's unfortunate.
And he's a Purdue Boilermaker to boot, so that's a double whammy.
Wes, we always appreciate the time. Thanks a lot. We'll talk to you next week. Good luck this weekend.
You bet, boys. Thanks for having me.
Live at Los Reyes, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Chad Reynolds with Legacy Title 296-0060 for all of you real estate closings. Ashley Donald, Marietta Haynes, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, our great staff at Legacy Title. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds, Legacy Title 296-0060. Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
When your transformer is down, it's not just an inconvenience. It's a cost to your business. At Bayou Transformers, we understand the urgency and we are ready to assist. Whether it's maintenance, reconditioning, or even a full replacement, we'll get you back to full power swiftly and efficiently. With a 5-year warranty on all our rebuilt transformers and a rapid turnaround time, we are your solution for all your transformer needs. Visit BayouTransformers.com. That's BayouTransformers.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the inventory to get you in a new truck or SUV today. Or let us help you customize your next vehicle just the way you want it. All new Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery. Visit BayouCDJR.com to shop or schedule a same-day appointment with our service department just off I-10 on Belterra and LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
At the Renaissance Hotel in Baton Rouge, when it comes to hosting your meeting or event, we're in the business of saying yes. From our intimate boardrooms that can accommodate as few as a dozen people to our extravagant ballroom that can host events for 500 people, the Renaissance Hotel wants to make your next event unforgettable. To book your next event, call the Renaissance Hotel today at 215-7000. That's 215-7000, 215-7000.
Finding the right personnel for your organization can be a challenge. At Glow Resources, we take that job seriously, but not ourselves. We place the best people into the right job. Glow Resources, complete employee solutions. GlowResources.com.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood? Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Well, I guess along with those sizzling steaks, we do have wood-fired oysters and scallops, beautiful sea bass, fresh Gulf fish and shrimp, and rich Ora King salmon. So yeah, Stabs Prime Steak and Seafood. Jefferson Highway across from Palermo Ristorante. Tell Leo that Kevin sent you. And don't forget, there ain't no cake in that crab cake. Come and see us.
Technology, a modern blessing, but a curse when issues arise.
Rev Business is your human touch in the digital world with personal support and meaningful solutions to your real-world challenges. We are a local team who will do whatever it takes to keep you up and running. Sign up for internet, hosted phone, and security with our no-risk 90-day guarantee. For internet, hosted phone, and security, experience the difference of working with Rev Business. 90 years of connecting Louisiana. Visit letsrev.biz.
You have a big business, small business, or nonprofit? Whether your business is planning its next big step or just taking its first, you can benefit from Gulf Coast Bank and Trust's knowledgeable bankers, their personal service, and business solutions. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
LSU wasn't the only struggling basketball team to get a win last night. The New Orleans Pelicans won in Chicago, 119-113. Was coming home from doing the podcast and got to listen to Graf a little bit doing it. The Pelicans, who have a goal every game of getting 43-point shots up and almost never do, got 50 of them up last night and couldn't hit Lake Michigan, okay, with most of them. They shot 28% from three-point range. But they won anyway, Max. Let me read this starting lineup to you. Zion Williamson, heard of him. Yves Missi, C.J. McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Trey Murphy. You know what all those guys are? Starters. They're all starters. Missy, who has been the surprise of the year, maybe in the NBA. I don't know if he's still leading the Rookie of the Year betting, but he was for a while. If not, he's really close, having way ahead of what we expected from a developmental player. But the rest of these guys are all, bona fide NBA players, all out on the floor. So is Jose Alvarado. Hit 4 threes off the bench. They won. This is what's so frustrating about this team, this franchise, is they ever get the damn players out on the floor. It's not that they can't play, it's just that they don't. Give me the guys that David Griffin drafted and acquired, and you've got a reasonable team here. I mean, Sunday night in Boston, Williamson was even playing defense. He had 5 steals, for crying out loud. Last night he had 9 assists. It's like he gives a damn. Maybe he should miss the plane more often. I don't know. But this is the frustrating part. The season is a wash, okay? Last night was the halfway point. They have no chance to dig themselves out of this hole, all right? They're not going to go 32-9 to get to 500 to be in the play-in, okay? The season's goals are done. They're thrown away. But are they going to play better if they actually get the players in? Trade deadline's about 3 weeks away, 3.5 weeks away. But this is at least something close to what was supposed to be on the floor for New Orleans this year.
Yeah, you're just missing Brandon Ingram pretty much now. Yves Missi, by the way, 5th choice Rookie of the Year, 8-1. So.
It's a 5th choice. Okay, at one point he was a favorite about a month ago
for sure. But look, I mean, Trey Murphy had 32 last night. You're starting to see a little bit more in terms of shooting from DeJounte Murray, which is what you wanted to see now that he's getting back in the fold from his injury early in the year. It's promising to see, but we know this team isn't going to look all this much similar next year. There's going to be some moves made with this team.
Don't you think after February 6th is a trade deadline? Don't you think that they got to do something with it?
They've got to do something. They're sellers. I mean, you can't have this team and just continue to run it back. So they're going to sell in some type of way, whether it be with Ingram or a little bit more than that. But, it's obviously not the best news if you're trying to capture the flag, that being Cooper Flag, that your team right now is going to be playing better down the stretch because
you've been here too long now. You know how I'm thinking. It's like, well, if the season's already in the pooper, then why aren't if they in the second half, if they were to go in 41 games, if they were to go something like 25-16, okay, that would really screw everything up. Yeah, it would just be a completely wasted season because you'd say, oh, look, they can be a playoff team, but they never get all of those guys out there. So let's say you go 25-16 in the second half. That would be really good enough to foul up. I'm trying not to cuss here. Is it really be enough to foul up the lottery but wouldn't be enough to get you in the playoffs because the whole team was on the damn injured list from October on, it seemed like.
Yeah, the Pels are in an interesting spot, but there are a lot of teams in the NBA right now sort of at a crossroads. Obviously, Jimmy Butler's made it known he's not coming back to Miami, so they're going to try to move him. There were some interesting comments from Steph Curry. Basically, they asked him, they're 19 and 20 right now, currently would be out of the play-in, on if they should, try to trade, be buyers at the deadline. And he sort of seemed apathetic to it. Like, look, right now, like, what is it worth trading, being buyers at the deadline when we're just not going to be that good? I mean, rarely do you see stars toward the end of their tenure sort of admit to, hey, let's not go all in. We've seen it. Kobe, the Lakers, they went all with him. LeBron, of course, every year he's going to say, trade whatever pieces we can get. But Curry pretty okay with just the idea that, maybe we're just not a championship.
He knows what
anymore.
he knows what a championship team looks like, and he knows what they can acquire, and he knows that ain't it. I mean, I give Curry credit for being candid. Maybe that's not what they want because it doesn't look like he's, all in or whatever you want to say, but he knows. Okay. The Lakers, in some of those years with LeBron, we're going to trade every draft choice from now until 2040 because what? So we can finish 7th. They're not going to make. There's championship teams with championship aspirations, and look, if you're in the 8, 9, 10 hole, really, if you're in the 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hole right now, you're not going to win an NBA title. I mean, I suppose you catch lightning in a bottle and maybe make it to the conference finals or not, but you got a handful of about 8 teams that have a legitimate chance to make the finals, and 8 might be high. It might be closer to 6. Anyway, watching I just saw a little bit of this game last night. It's frustrating. It's encouraging, but frustrating. The frustrating part is you can't ever seem to get this team out on the floor for any amount of time. The encouraging thing is, boy, if you ever did, you might actually be competitive. I mean, I assume that they can get something back for Brandon Ingram. I don't think keeping him till the end is an option anymore. It was always an option in the previous years when Ingram was sort of on a trade block. It's like, well, if we don't like the deal out there, we'll just keep him. Well, his contract's up, so you can't do that. And it would almost certainly revolve around more than one other team. The CBA of the NBA is now such that it's really restrictive on deals, so it would probably involve a third team. So the more teams you're involved, the more players you're involved, could really shake up this roster between now and the trade deadline if there's a deal out there that makes sense. And, oh, by the way, he's still hurt. So you're trying to trade an injured player, which I don't even know if it's possible. You pass a physical right now? I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, it's a little discouraging. There's a little bit of jealousy almost, I think, for Pels fans. Which when you look up at the top of the NBA right now, and it's the Cavaliers and the Thunder, right? The NBA, which is always so focused on rewarding and talking so much about their big market teams. They want to talk about the Celtics and the Lakers and, make the big markets a thing. But we're seeing small markets succeed right now in the NBA, and unfortunately the Pelicans aren't one of them. But the Cavs, in a lot of ways, are similar to what the Pelicans have been trying to build a core around some good draft picks, maybe make a trade or two to make that team relevant. But the Cavs and Thunder certainly seem like NBA contenders, and the Pelicans obviously far from it, but so much of that due to injury.
Well, the Thunder, okay. The Cavs made a big trade for Donovan Mitchell, and they made some really good draft choices. All right. Oklahoma City started this sell-off with Paul George, and they acquired a gazillion draft picks. So you sort of get, okay, they've been trying to do this. How about the Houston Rockets?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The Houston Rockets 2 seasons ago were a laughing stock. Okay. Actually, the last 2 seasons, the two of the last 3 seasons, they were 20-win teams. Okay. Building. Oh, they hired a coach. Okay.
Ime Udoka. It's pretty good.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to do it. There's a bad joke to be made here about,
okay.
But as a basketball coach, very good. Okay. Working with some other people in the front office, maybe not as much, but basketball coach, very good. Come back and wrap things up here at Los Reyes Mexican Grill, corner of Nicholson and Lee, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross Ted, offers the latest video.
Yeah.
So you ready to go?
Oh yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Hold up. It's rolling.
This is Charles Hanniger. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from the original Walk-Ons Burbank at Nicholson. Matt Humans, Dwayne Colucci, and Kenny White all join us from Las Vegas as we get you ready for the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Live at Lunch from Walk-Ons, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Commercial and residential roofing, including a standing seam panel in a variety of colors with a 40-year paint warranty. A metal roof can add value to your home and is energy efficient. Call Majestic Metals at 225-675-3800 and talk to our knowledgeable sales staff for all your commercial and residential needs. Visit us on the web at majesticmetalsinc.com.
Guarantee Media is hiring. Come join the company that's been named as one of the best places to work in Baton Rouge. Local and committed to your career growth. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com, an equal opportunity employer. GuaranteeMedia.com.
After performing 30,000 dental implant procedures, the doctors here at Fusion Implant Center have witnessed life-changing transformation of so many patients. Hi, this is Dr. Leo Reagan.
And I'm Dr. Michael Casadban. Are you one of the 50 million people who are missing teeth and wearing dentures that just don't fit and are uncomfortable? Well, in just one day, you can have permanent teeth with a perfect smile.
The board-certified doctors here at the Fusion Implant Center guarantee your procedures to be done correctly, painlessly, and cost-effectively. We are the experts who teach these procedures all over the country.
This team of experts and our state-of-the-art operating rooms are conveniently located in one facility. This allows your treatment to be coordinated and can be started in as little as 10 to 14 days.
So don't go one more day feeling insecure or missing out on the ability to enjoy smiling and eating. Transform your smile in one day at the Fusion Implant Center. Call today or visit FusionImplantCenter.com.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
I took control.
I took control. We took control.
This is Chris Medine with Medine's Collision Center. Auto accidents can be overwhelming. Crucial decisions are made instantly, like where to take your car for body repair.
But doesn't my insurance company recommend a collision shop?
It's your right to choose a collision center. Don't let anyone push you around.
Medine's not only repaired my car, but restored my confidence.
Log on to MedineCollision.com and read our latest blog. We are your accident advisors. Remember,
take control. Choose Medine's.
Hey guys, this is Kellen Martin, branch manager at First South Farm Credit in Zachary. When I talk to people about buying land, I always ask, what are your goals with this property? I want to make sure that we set up a loan that fits you and what you're trying to do with your land. If it's a place to build your dream home out in the country, or if it's a place to raise big deer, those are different goals. You want a land lender who understands that and can give you different options based on your goals. If you're looking to buy land or refinance, call me, Kellen Martin, at First South Farm Credit in Zachary, or find us online at firstsouthland.com.
Happy New Year from all of us at Trash Rangers of Louisiana. Start your new year out right. Visit trashrangers.com and make the switch today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Los Reyes Mexican Grill on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Consensus Golf Picks brought to you by Dana Brown, the law offices of O.C. Brown. Max, who we got?
So I've got a few picks. I'll rattle through mine real quick. Tom Kim, Siwoo Kim, couple South Koreans. Siwoo Kim having won here in 2021. Good form. Missed the cut last week, though. Just the putter was ice cold. But if his putter can heat up, he's got a chance. Harry Hall, 50-1, is red hot right now. Michael Kim, 100-1, has played well here. It's a pro-am, by the way. They play with some like CEOs as well, so it's long rounds. You got to be good yucking it up with the corporate CEOs. I think he's kind of fits that mold. And Michael Thorbjornsen, 120-1, a young star, could maybe benefit from someone like like we saw last year with the amateur winning. He's kind of fits that mold as well. And Ryan Gerard, a long shot 200-1, has done well in the Korn Ferry Tour in these low-scoring events. So our consensus pick, I will add, Sepp Straka, 65-1 right now. The Austrian, at times, he can go low. His iron play has been tremendous for a long time. It always has been throughout his career, but he's striking his irons exceptionally well. They redid these greens at the PGA West course, which is what they play twice in this tournament. Redone greens are typically firmer. They also expand them a little bit more. So you gotta be striking your irons well, I think, this week more than traditionally in this tournament. So Straka fits that mold. He's 65-1. That's our consensus pick this week between me and Wes.
All right, brought to you by Dana Brown at the law office of O.C. Brown, where your first consultation is always free. 343-1111 and on the web at ocbrown.com. Your law firm for a life. 383-1111 and on the web at ocbrown.com. Favorite basketball pick tonight: Oklahoma. The late game, very late game, 9:00 tip on the SEC network. They're a 2.5-point choice at home. One of these teams has got to get a win. They're both 0-3 in the SEC. We'll go with Oklahoma minus the short number at 2.5. You can kind of stretch it out. You can watch all night on the SEC network. 5:00 start for South Carolina at Vanderbilt. I believe Jimmy said he liked Vandy in that game.
He did.
And then Georgia and Tennessee is the middle game at 7 on the SEC network. Thanks to the folks here at Los Reyes for being our hosts today. Always enjoy our time here. Come by happy hour 2:30 to 6:30 daily, and a terrific lunch menu as well. Tomorrow we're at the original Walk-Ons Burbank at Nicholson. For Max and Jordan, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Take a tour of the flavors of Southwest Asia with.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thank you.
Chicken, Taiwanese popcorn fried chicken, and sauces to add a little kick. Come visit us today in Town Center. P.F. Chang's. Look for the Golden Horse.
Electric Man of Baton Rouge is here to help with 24/7 residential and commercial electric